Good morning, guys. This is the day after my big fat birthday. I turned 60 yesterday on August the 14th. Right now it's the 15th at 8:33 in the morning. I'm not dressed yet to go outside and do the read, but I wanted to pull the cards while I felt the need to. On the way down to my beach trip yesterday, I saw in the comments that somebody asked me to find out if Miss Nancy is in Wyoming. So this is the Norman, and I'm not going to pick a card for the center. I had to go ask the AI, will the cards tell me something specific like that? And it says it pretty much could, but the Norman would be better. So I picked 5, okay? 5, did you guys see that? Yeah, you guys have seen that. 5 cards. And this is already shuffled. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this deck, because I don't think I cut it in the beginning. I'm going to pull 5 tarot also. Same question. And then I'm going to sit and think about it, because I've never really pulled a specific question like this, right? The AI did give me some cards that could show location. So for tarot, this is what we don't see coming. You guys saw it, but not me. Lenormand, the first card is the Rider, which is about a message, right? And then the Birds. Alright, that's about internet and chatter and talk. And then the Casket, they said the Casket actually tells a location too, which is where? The graveyard. The Clover. And then this is about public recognition. The cover is about luck. This is about public recognition, right? A display. And then for tarot, we got the 5 of Swords, which is about fighting, conflict, defeat, dishonor, fighting. And then we got the Hermit. This tells a location too, it is said. Alright, introspective, going inwards. This is Savannah. If you guys have been with me any length of time, you know that I've assigned some of these tarot cards to the different family members. Gave this to Savannah because she is in communication. She's a broadcaster. And to explain this card, because I'm not using the regular Rider-Waite, but I fashioned my cards after the Rider-Waite. I made 3 precise sandwiches: cucumber, smoked salmon, and egg salad sandwich. And I sliced them very precise, which is what that this card represents. It's about that quick tongue. And then the Fool. The Fool is about a new beginning, a new start, right? And then the 5 of Cups is about loss, grief, mourning. And then you guys saw this one, which is the Knight of Swords. Okay, guys, I moved over to the couch. I don't know if I'm going to put my face on camera today, because I'm not going to put on any eye makeup, because my right eye is crazy with allergies right now. But I just wanted to show you the cards again from up above. So in the Lenormand spread, because I did not intentionally put that coffin there, is just chosen in the middle randomly, we don't have to treat it as a location. Okay, we're not going to treat it, because if this was being treated as a location, we're going to say, oh yeah, she's in a graveyard, right? So let's look at the cards. The Rider, the Birds, the Coffin, the Clover, and the Garden. If you pair the Rider with the Birds, this is about movement, travel. This right here, right? Communication. The Birds are traveling, communication. Information coming in about the subject. And the subject is Miss Nancy. You know, where is she? We're asking specifically, is she in Wyoming? The Birds plus the Coffin equals communication, movement that becomes quiet, stopped, or unavailable, which is exactly what happened, right? We don't hear nothing about this lady anymore. Like JLR says, no flyers put in town, no nothing, right? So then the Coffin and the Clover is a brief opening after a period of inactivity. Didn't we just have that the other day, where they put out this thing about the ransom notes, right? All of a sudden, and then Savannah come out with a plea. Why she came out with a plea so, you know, out of the blue, after months and months of not hearing from her? So the Clover plus the Garden. Clover is about luck. If we want to pair the Clover with the Garden, the Clover is about luck, right? And then the Garden is about a public affair. So pairing them together, I would say this is an opportunity involving a public space. Opportunity meaning this, right? The Clover, public space, somewhere outdoors, community gathering. Is that telling us that she's in Wyoming? Let me see what cards we would expect to see if she was in that area. Mountain, right? Tree, house, maybe even a tower, like meaning a church or something. Road, ship, the bear. We don't see any of those cards. So I'm not sure if she's in Wyoming, and by that same token, I'm not sure she's in Vermont either, like I'm thinking. You guys, another kind of ideas are opening, right? Now let's look at the tarot read. We have the Hermit, the Five of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Fool, and the Five of Cups. So the Hermit immediately catches my attention because this is about somebody who's in seclusion. You know, I feel like they have Miss Nancy hidden, right? The family. I feel like they have her hidden. My opinion, this is not fact, and it's not meant to say that it's fact. All right? It could mean isolation, distance from other people, maybe a rural surrounding, so maybe Wyoming, right? Or someone deliberately keeping to themselves. You know, I keep getting the Eight of Swords in tarot for her, so that's why I say that's her. But this right here, they have her locked away. All right, so let's move on. The next one is the Five of Swords. Let's see what comes to mind. The Hermit, the Five of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. Let's pair these three together. This has a very isolated, guarded quality. It doesn't feel like someone who is surrounded by busy social environment like this, right? Like this. Then the Fool introduces movement, travel, open space, or being somewhere unfamiliar. So maybe we're back to Wyoming or Vermont, right? And the question really is about Wyoming, but I keep throwing Vermont in there because that's my feeling that I have. So sometimes that's like clouding the judgment, right? So the Five of Cups is about loss. It brings disappointment, loss, someone who's looking backwards or being separated from something or someone. That would be Miss Nancy, if she's still alive, guys, right? If she's still alive. You know, I think she's still alive, but I still say if because, you know, these are not facts, right? So if she's still alive, they've separated her from the home that she loves, and they've separated her from the city that she loves, right? And who is she with? I think she's with Cameron, but really she could be somewhere else with a cousin, right? Maybe not even with her kids. She's away from her usual environment, somewhat isolated, potentially rural or open surroundings. So we're right back again to this Wyoming. But rather than this spread specifically identifying Wyoming, we're just going to say more broad term that she's isolated. So I'm going to leave room for that to be part of the answer for the person who asked me to read about Wyoming. I'm going to give this 45% yes for Wyoming. I didn't give it about 50% because I think my feel about Vermont is still clouding my judgment. I hope this helps you, and we can read on this again in the future, like in the near future, in the next week or so. We can pull cards again and read about Wyoming again. But perhaps you want to tell me in the comments why you were asking specifically about Wyoming. That would be cool, because I know some people talk about Boulder, Colorado. Maybe next time we can read on Boulder, Colorado and see what comes up, right? It's 5 o'clock in the evening, still August the 15th, 2026, and I decided to move out here because the air conditioning is too loud inside. As I was doing that read for you guys, I could hear how loud it was. So I'm sitting in front of the orange tree because over there where I sit in front of that big shade tree, the sun is too bright because it sets over there in the west, right? It's too bright, and I'm just going to look shadowy, and the cars are going to look shadowy, and you'll see the tree put a shadow in my face. So let's cut the deck and get right to it. We're going to ask the question about the Uber driver again. We've asked about this Uber driver a couple of times. People say she's a woman. They say she's been not investigated, but questioned, I guess. She's been questioned, that she checks out, that she said she did pick up Miss Nancy. I honestly don't believe any of that. I don't think Miss Nancy went in an Uber anywhere that night, because like I told you in the last video, the last picture we've seen of Miss Nancy is Christmas time, and we've never seen another picture of her. So did she go missing well before? Was this truly a kidnapping? Maybe that's one of the questions we're going to ask. But for this one, I want to ask specifically about Carlos Palazuelos, because somebody came in JLR chat yesterday and said that he believes the Uber driver was Carlos. I don't think it was. Honestly, I don't think it was, but I figured it would be a question to ask. So let's lay out 5 cards. I got my rock stones off the table. I don't know, these cards look upside down. Yeah, no. Maybe some of them are upside down, I don't know. So we'll straighten them out if they're upside down. Yeah, that one's upside down for sure. We'll straighten them out. We don't read reverse. The cards have too many negative cards in them already for us to read reverse. Why? So if this is reverse, I'm sorry. I hope you guys can see it. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can see it. Yay. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Oh my God, I love that song when I was a kid growing up. The Chariot. Here comes the Uber driver. Maybe he or she does exist. Like the elves say at the Christmas, they do exist. Ambition, victory, willpower, movement. She traveled. Miss Nancy traveled. JLR believes Miss Nancy is nearby her house, but disposed of. He doesn't believe she's alive. Other people are calling in saying, we think she's alive, but you know, they give some wild theories, which my theories could be considered wild too, so we're not judging, right? Temperance, balance, moderation. Temperance means balance, moderation, harmony, patience. How long do we have to be patient? 601, success, public recognition, achievement. Well, they sure put Carlos out there on blast. To me, Carlos seemed very genuine. When they detained him and questioned him and put him through hell, I liked Carlos fine. I didn't feel, oh my God, he did it. His mother-in-law is the one that I did not trust. Not to say she did anything wrong, I just didn't trust. 9 of Pentacles, self-sufficiency, luxury, rewards, plenty. No, I don't think it's Carlos. This person got money. They're publicly recognized. Whoever had her. And I'm still, oh, here comes Miss Nancy. Miss Nancy, why you show up for everything? So she was in a car. She was in a car. But it was it an Uber? You know, when my mom was alive, she used to say Hoover. But it's because somebody she knew in Belize would say Hoover, and she kind of like got that stuck in her brain. And she'd say, get the Hoover. Look at this one. 5 of Swords. They all fighting. Okay, so let's try to read this thing. So they're like, go get Ma, right? I don't want to go get her. I'm tired of going. That 5 miles is long. And believe me, people don't think that 5 miles is long, but it's long. My son lives 5 miles away from here, and we don't go over there. He comes over here. That 5 miles is far by light. No freeway, just by light. So they're fighting. We don't want to go pick her up. And they're like, oh, have patience. And then this is somebody publicly recognized. That's Miss Nancy. And somebody with money. This is not A&T. They didn't have no money. Allegedly. We don't know. Not facts, okay? My opinion. But Miss Nancy shows up. And then this shows up with this conflict and fighting. No, I went into this saying Carlos Palazuelos is not the Uber driver, but I just really thought that was like something to, I was like, what? Because he did deliveries, right? I'm like, really? But he didn't drive for Uber, but that doesn't mean he didn't drive for Uber. But this is so weird. I'm going to show my daughter this. This is so weird. A car comes up, so that means Miss Nancy was in a car. But was it an Uber? Was it a Hoover? Mommy, I miss you. I'm wearing earrings with her picture on it today. I wore it. Did I wear it yesterday at the beach? No, I wore something else. But I'm calling her in today. Somebody that's publicly recognized. Oh my goodness. Somebody with money, right? And here comes, they said, you know, somebody, that astrology lady keeps coming in my chat, and she said Miss Nancy had money. She said when the hubby passed away, when Miss Nancy was like 47, he had a life insurance. But how long would that last? Most people only have like 100,000, right? Maybe he had 1 million, and she's like frugal, because she said all them kids' college stuff was paid for. I don't know. I think Miss Nancy was in a car. I don't know when. I don't know why my cards are all messed up, but we're gonna keep moving. I don't know when she was in this car, but she was in the car of somebody that's publicly recognized, right? Somebody well known. And I don't know that it was the night that she allegedly went missing. Honestly, I'm really starting to doubt there was really a kidnapping. You know, I've flirted with that idea before because I don't believe the porch guy is real. No, not like my husband said in the last video where he thought the porch guy was AI. I don't think the porch guy was AI. That's somebody really dressed up in a suit, but they were playing a role. They got paid a couple $100s to go. Just go in front of that door and make the thing go off. Don't worry, you're gonna be alright. And then they shipped him out the country because I think it's LC. You know, I'm not calling names, but I think it's the one that has the same last name as T, that lives in Italy, that is a chef. Go look that up, because I ain't calling no more names over here, okay? So the last question we're gonna ask for this read from Miss Nancy is, was there truly a kidnapping? Was she really kidnapped? And I'm not talking kidnapped for ransom, even an abduction. Was she truly abducted, or did they just whisk her? Because I don't think they unalived her. I think they told her that Savannah had a threat and that she needed to come with them. Whoever them, I don't know who them is, okay? And she went willingly. I don't think she even saw that porch dude. When that porch dude video came out on the 10th, Savannah was like, see what my poor mom saw? Kind of like, I'm vindicated. Me and my sister's vindicated. I'm like, girl, shut up. Shut up. Okay, let's cut the deck. We're gonna ask, was there truly a kidnapping? And this is for the gush. And then I'm gonna see if Joe is willing, because it's not hot right here where I'm sitting. Maybe I can move down, he can grab another chair and he can sit next to me and we could talk about this big fat birthday. Oh my God. This birthday was almost a disaster. I got sick afterwards. When I came home, I threw up. I'm just teasing it so you guys can watch the next video, okay? Was there truly a kidnapping? Okay. Put this here. Oh, what you don't see coming. What you don't see coming. First card, the 8 of Pentacles. They worked hard on making up this lie. My cousin had a boyfriend, and he's from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and he says, a lie tell, a lie tell. That means they're telling a lie. Here comes Miss Nancy again. Self-imposed restrictions, meaning she played a part. My daughter has long said that she played a part in her own napping. We don't know this to be facts, okay? This is our opinion. We're just a tarot card reader on the internet trying to read tarot card. We still learning. The High Priestess, intuition, mystery, inner wisdom, success. There are some secrets up in there too. 3 of them done did it. But it's not a napping. It's not a napping. And then the Knight of Swords, ambitious, assertive, driven to succeed. Did we give this to Savannah husband? I don't remember what we give him. And then the 9 of Wands, resilience, persistence, boundaries, weary. I was taping something the other day, guys. I just remembered right now. I was recording something and then I didn't put up that video because the news broke about Juice's charge getting dropped, so I quickly made a different video. If I can find that video, the first question that I asked, if I remember correctly, was, is Miss Nancy still alive? If I find that video, I'll tack it on the end here. If you don't see it, it's because I didn't find it on my camera memory, okay? But if I have it, I'll put it up and then you'll see what was said. If not, it ends right here. I'm just gonna come right out and jump straight into the read and ask the question, is Miss Nancy still alive? All right, I don't ask it too often, but when I feel the need to, I'll ask it. 5 cards. Let's see what tarot tells us, and then we can confirm or refute it with Lenormand, okay, if we need to. What we don't see coming, and you guys know I don't look at that. 3 of Cups, celebration, friendship, community. All right, not a death card at all. Let's see. Don't get cocky. 7 of Cups, illusions and delusions. Since the beginning, this family has pulled an illusion on us because they think we're bloody delusional, and we're not. We're not. We're getting PO'd. Okay, Knight of Wands, passion, bold, adventure, daring, swift. Did we give this to Savannah's husband? Because I feel like he's daring, he's bold. Page of Wands, enthusiasm, exploration, free spirit. This is a young energy. I have my book, so we're going to look up the lengthier meaning of that. The Four of Pentacles, this is about frugality, saving, greed, hoarding. Rich people always want to hoard their money, right? And the Hanged Man, pause, surrender, new perspective. If we want to squint our eyes and say, yes, she's gone, maybe this card could say she's gone because it's about surrendering. Maybe she surrendered. She gave up the ghost, you know? Let's look up really quickly the Page of Wands. I still struggle with the court cards and their meanings. I don't know how to differentiate each of them. Not all of them, but some of them, right? Page of Wands, inspiration, ideas, limitless potential, news, message, and information. This is how I write up the thing. I put Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles, and then I will go Ace to you know, from the beginning to the King. That's how I write it in here. So, what say you, my beautiful audience? What say you? Give me your opinion. Do you think that this spread says she's gone to the other side? She's on the other side of the mud. She gave up the ghost. She surrendered. She's sign language. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and thank you so much for giving me the watch hours, because I am literally about 42 or 50 something hours away from getting to 4,000. I think I was like 39.52 this morning, and they're 5 days behind on their assessment, so I know we've already met the 4,000, but we need the subscribers, guys. We need like 209 subscribers right now. I've got like 6 other pages I can subscribe from, but I'm saving those for when we're close to the 1,000. Like if we get to 993, your girl gonna subscribe from every one of her page to get to that 1,000, because I need to turn on the ads on all these videos. Whatever money was made before, I don't get none of that. It's from the day we turn on the ads, okay? But you guys are doing this with me. I couldn't do it without you. A month ago, this wasn't even looking like it was possible. And so I'm really, really grateful, okay? You guys take care, and I'll see you on the next one when I talk about my birthday.